Hello everyone and welcome to an exciting video. So for those who don't know, almost exactly a year ago is when I bought my first ATEEZ album, and that was the catalyst for me starting my entire K-pop collection. It was all ATEEZ's fault. So yeah, I thought it would be fun if, now that it's been 1 year, to go through my entire ATEEZ collection just to see where I'm at. And I know at the end of the year, I do plan on going through my entire K-pop collection like I did last year, but for this video specifically, I'm just going to be going through my ATEEZ collection because, if you know, they're my ult of ults, and this collection is very special to me. ATEEZ is very special to me, so I just want to make this more retrospective video. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start with my Postcard Binder. And if you've seen any previous videos on my channel, you know that I have been on quite the journey with this binder. I used to keep all my postcards in a normal A4 3-ring binder, but that was getting out of hand and I needed to find another solution. And then I came across this extra large 3-ring binder on Mochi Things. And this I thought was going to work a lot better for me because they have 2 pocket pages that go with this 3-ring binder that are large enough to fit the ATEEZ postcards that come in the albums. So with this, I can save a lot more space because I can double up more than I could if I had kept this in a standard A4 3-ring binder. But for those who don't know, for my ATEEZ postcards, what I keep in this binder is my bias line, which is Hongjun, Yeosung, and Wooyoung, and then I also include any unit or group postcards. And this is the cover I made, which I just did as like a little treasure map design, which I thought was cute and fitting, obviously. So once we get into it, obviously I did this in chronological order. So I have Treasure Episode 1, and then I go into Treasure Episode 2, and I included the unit and group cards that we got, or postcards that we got. And then this is Treasure Episode 3, and I put Illusion first just because I love the bright coloring of this and the styling and everything. And then Wave is after. And then we're getting into Treasure Episode Fin. And I believe this was the A version. There were 2 versions for this one. A and Z. Yeah, I think Z was the uniform one. And then this is Treasure Epilogue, which also had 2 versions, A and Z. And now we're getting into the Fever series, so this was the Thanks version. Then getting into Diary. And then the Inception version. And then this is the start of Fever Part 2. Again, a Diary and Z. For all of Fever series, it's been a Diary and Z versions. And then this is the start of Fever Part 3. And then we get into Fever Epilogue, which is our current era until July. And that is it. So yeah, as you can see, these 2 pocket pages are just the perfect size for these album postcards, because even though they call them postcards, or I guess like just the community calls them postcards, they are in fact a lot larger than your standard postcard size. So yeah, this just works a hell of a lot better, and I have so much more space in the back. So, you know, there's plenty of room to grow for future albums. So that was my ATEEZ Postcard Binder. Next up is my ATEEZ Photocard Binder, and this also has some larger inclusions from non-album things, but it's mainly just photo cards. And this is my cover I made, and I did post a whole video of me figuring this out. I also have this on the side. Anyway, so that's my cover. Let's get this bad boy open. So right at the front, I have an OT8 photo. So this is the laundry service for ATEEZ photo, which was from their 3rd fan kit. And then on this side, I have the OT Youth photo book OT8 photo. And then this is my introductory page of sorts. If you've seen previous videos beforehand, in these 9 pockets, I had a picture of Hongjun and Yosong that I like set up in this grid. It was like a full picture that I set up in the grid and like cut it up so you could like fit it in the 9 pockets. It's a really bad explanation, but I don't want my binder to just start off right from the first album photo cards right away. I kind of like having this introductory page, and so even from my last video, this is slightly different. So before, I had just put their season's greetings here, but I have since added some sub-K MD / POBs. So this is the sub-K Polaroid POBs from Fever Part 2 last year, and then these are the IDs from the sub-K MD, which is Fever Part 1 styling, but they sold it last year, so go figure. But I put them in my sparkly sleeves that I have, my holographic sleeves, and I kind of set it up by size order, so it kind of creates a hierarchy, so it's like small, medium, large type of vibes. I don't know, I thought this was fun. So that is how I set up my introductory page, and then we get into the album photo cards. So obviously we start with Treasure Episode 1, and then I include the group photo card, and this is Treasure Episode 2, and then this is Treasure Episode 3 with the group photo cards. This is Episode Fin with the group photo cards, and then this is the anniversary album. And before, I just had my holographic fillers here, but then I decided to print out some group photos to put in as fillers so they match the other pages, since these all have group photos. And so this is like KQ had posted these are behind the scenes photos, I think, from their photo shoot that they did for this album. And then this is Treasure Epilogue, and like with the anniversary section, I printed out 2 group photos from the epilogue era to put here to help fill out the section instead of just having the holographic fillers. And then this is when Fever series begins. So this is Fever Part 1, and then I have the 2 thanks versions and then the diary version in the center. And then Inception is here. So these are the regular album photo cards, and then these are MMTs. And then this is Fever Part 2, and I think it was these 2 cards were my very first ATEEZ cards. The very first album I bought was this version album, which was A, I guess, since this is first, it was A's version A. I bought it off of Mercari, the US Mercari, and I specifically was looking for an album with 2 Hongjun photo cards because at the time, in June of 2021, at the time when I first decided like I wanted to buy ATEEZ albums and I wanted to collect ATEEZ, Hongjoong was the only member I was planning on collecting. But then when KQ did their big restock of the earlier albums, basically like all the Treasure albums, I bought all of them. I bought all the albums, and in my Treasure episode 1 album, I pulled this Yo song and I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go, and then that was kind of the catalyst of me deciding, okay, I'm going to collect Hongjoong and Yo song. And then January of this year, I officially decided to also start collecting Wooyoung. So yeah, that was kind of an abbreviated version of my collecting journey. But anyway, for Fever Part 2, we have the regular album cards and then limited on the bottom, and I have that set up for the entirety of the Fever series. Well, for the rest of them besides Fever Part 1, obviously. So this is A, this is Diary, this is Z. And then these are POBs that I have. So again, at the time when I was collecting, when I first started collecting last year, I didn't really know what I was doing quite yet. So the POB situation for Fever Part 2 is kind of random. So that's why they're not like the same set for all of the members. And it wasn't really until Fever Part 3 that I had a more focused idea of which POBs I wanted to collect. So yeah, now this is the beginning of Fever Part 3. So this is version A, Diary, and Z version. And then these are the POBs I decided to get for all 3 members, but obviously Wooyoung I got later. So I have a lot more POBs of just Hongjoong and Yosong from Fever Part 3 and Epilogue that I have in a separate section. And I unintentionally decided to get all Eternal Sunshine POBs. I think I just gravitate towards these colors. And now we're moving on to Fever Epilogue. So it's A, Diary, Z. Also, this styling is probably some of my favorite styling. I love this version. And then these were my POBs that I decided to get for Epilogue. This was Apple Music, Hello 82, and K-Pop Store, I believe. And let me see if I can remember. This was also Apple Music, Makestar, and MMT. And these were Makestar version 3, I think, or 2. I mean, this was Makestar version 3, and then this was Y Global. I forget what this one was. So yeah, this was kind of a smorgasbord. And then I know these guys were all MMTs. These 2 were Inception MMTs, and this one was the Diary MMT. So yeah, those are all my POBs in this section. So let's move on to my miscellaneous POBs and Japanese PCs section. So again, this section I have rearranged because I have bought more Japanese photocards off of Mercari Japan. So there is a map to answer set that will be going here, obviously, because that came out, that predates the Fever series, so I want to do it in chronological order. So I have more Hongjoong POBs here because, like I mentioned before, I was just collecting Hongjoong at first, so I have slightly more POBs than the other 2 members. So this was the Diary MMT, and this was the Thanks MMT, and I think this was Apple Music, I think. And then these, I think these were Makestar. Honestly, don't quote me. Okay, so then these were the MK Media Unit PCs, and I did buy, I bit the bullet and I did buy the Wooyoung and Yosong unit, which I so desperately wanted. I did buy that. And then I bought the other two members into the A to Z Photocards to complete this row. And then we're getting into Dreamers. So this is the Tower Records like semi-clear pre-order benefit. And then these are the two regular album versions, and then this is the ATEEZ version. And then we're moving into season songs. So these were the POBs, and then these were just regular album cards. I don't have Wooyoung because I didn't really care about collecting them, but I just wanted to at least have one of each for the POBs. And then we're getting into Fever Part 3 POBs. So these are kind of just random ones I had. I bought the Everline one in a set, so I had an extra Hongjoon because I wasn't planning on buying the set for Yeosang, so I always was just gonna have this as an extra. And then these were Sub K pre-order benefits. And then so the way I set this up, I basically did a row for each member. So this was Everline, this was K-pop Store, this was Wonderwall, and then this was Hello 82, Y Global, and K-Town. And then that's the same for Yeosang on this row. And then we're getting into the epilogue POBs that I got because this predated when I decided to start collecting Wooyoung. So this was, these ones I don't know for sure actually. I think it was Sainara. These are Make Star. This is Wonderwall. I think this is K-Town. One of these was the other Make Star, and one is Everline. I don't remember which is which though. But yeah, those are the shops that I got the POBs from. And then I bought Rocky Photocards from their newest Japanese release, so those will go here. And now let's move on to the MD and OT8 Sets Section. So this up first is the Sub K MD Photocards that came out in the summer of last year. And these were Fever Part 2 themed. And I did not keep the other members. I gave them to my friends. I just kept my bias line. And then after that, we have the Hidden Map Photocards. So the funny thing is, I ordered mine from Aladdin, and I did like a small group order with friends. So I think I ordered 4 sets. And then Aladdin sent me an extra 4 sets of the Hidden Map photo book. So I had like 8 sets total. So I had a bunch of extra cards that I ended up just selling when, you know, looking back at it now, I'm like, damn, if only I had like decided to collect Wooyoung then, it would have been perfect. But anyway, so I had to go back and get Wooyoungs again, even though I did pull some. But anyway, it's besides the point. So yeah, this is Hidden Map. And then this is the OT8 set from the Light Tea. And then this was from the Fever XR online concert. And then these are the Sub K MD sets. So this is Deja Vu, Eternal Sunshine. And then this is the Polaroid set. So again, Deja Vu, Eternal Sunshine. And then this is, I believe, a Make Star fan sign set. It's just the bunnies. I think this is like version 8 or like fan sign 8, whatever it was. This is from Epilogue era. I needed the bunnies, so I got the bunnies. And then this is from the OT Youth photo book. So we have the set that you had to pop out. And then this is the POB set, so it's hollow, very nice. And then we're moving into the fan kit photocard sets. So this is what came in with the fan kits. And then these are the IDs. So I explained in my last video, but I printed out these like ID holders that an ATEEZ had designed, and it just looks really nice that way. And now we're getting into the larger MD inclusions. So I don't keep these in my postcard binder because they fit better in these pocket pages, so I just keep them here. So these are the postcards we got from the Hidden Map photo book. These are the postcards from the Fever XR show. These are from the Season's Greetings. So I have all the members here. And then these are from the ATEEZ fan kit. So these are the film strips, and then these are like the individual member pages. Yep. Whew, that's everything. Okay, so that was everything. That was everything that I have collected within the last year, which is really crazy to think about because there's a lot here. I've done a lot of damage. But like I mentioned previously, ATEEZ just makes me so happy, and collecting them makes me so happy, and this collection is something that I'm very, very proud of. And you know, I have plans for the future of, you know, photocards that are on my wish list and things I want to do moving forward, and you know, I'm really looking forward to their comeback in July, and I can't wait to add more photocards to my binder. It just makes me really happy, and honestly, collecting should make you really happy. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking through my ATEEZ collection with me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!